से खिताब कर रहे हैं, आइए आपको बराह रास्त लिए चलते हैं।
For shared prosperity. The statements earlier by Ambassador Chaudhry, Foreign Minister Qureshi and Ambassador Sadiq Khan, it shed light on the current situation. And I do consider the current opportunity, the start of the negotiations between the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan and the Taliban movement, an important opportunity. Ambassador Chaudhry, yourself mentioned peace in Afghanistan, peace in Pakistan, and peace in the region. Foreign Minister, yourself eloquently elaborated how much peace and prosperity in both countries are interdependence of one another. And I cannot emphasize on the importance of the opportunity which is today ahead of us. As the chairman of the Council, High Council for National Reconciliation, which my colleagues are here today with me, we are delighted to be part of contributing to shaping up further strengthening of bilateral relations in the interest of both countries, in the interest of our region, in the interest of peace. I am visiting Pakistan at a time when a new future, indeed a peaceful future, is on the horizon. As yourself referred to, on the September 12th, I participated in the inauguration of the negotiations between the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan and the Taliban movement on behalf of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. As we are speaking here, delegations of both sides in Doha, they are sitting around a table discussing the ways and means of ending decades of conflict through a political settlement in Afghanistan. Pakistan has played an important role in facilitating this moment. And my delegation and I thank you thank the government of Pakistan and the people of Pakistan for their efforts. And we are looking forward to our joint next practical steps. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a firm believer, after many troubling years, we now need to go beyond the usual stale rhetoric and shadowy conspiracy theories that have held us back. We cannot afford to pursue business as usual. We need fresh approaches, and our people demand it from us. It's more urgent than ever to look to our region as one region. We need to look at the realities of the past 4 decades in our region, and also, as yourself rightly mentioned, take into account the current conditions and geopolitical and geoeconomic shifts. And also, we then need to draw necessary lessons about our gains and losses, threats and opportunities, especially where we could have been today if we had aimed for stronger cooperation, reduced tension, promoted moderation, increased regional connectivity, trade, transit, economic integration, business to business, and importantly, and more importantly, people-to-people interactions. I will let distinguished scholars to tell us the cost of non-cooperation, the opportunities lost. But we have a saying in Farsi, Mahira har vaqt az aab bigiri taze ast. Whenever you can take the fish from the water, it is fresh. And we all realized that we have made advances in our bilateral relations. and also in different respects. But also we know that we are lagging behind in other areas in today's highly competitive and technologically interconnected world. We are facing series of threats, common threats, most of the time, and challenges, including various shades of terrorism, extremism, intolerance, and more recently, COVID-19 pandemic that has not spared any country. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that there is a huge untapped security, political, economic potential for cooperation. In considering the current geopolitical context of the region, many new windows of opportunities have opened up. Therefore, more than ever, both countries need to pursue an enhanced level of interaction for a more peaceful and prosperous coexistence. The time is now for both nations to make further detour, define a new vision, address outstanding issues as well as our shared interests, realize that peace and stability in Afghanistan or any country in our South Central Asian geography, for that matter, can have far-reaching consequences, constructive consequences and ripple effects by setting course on a new path toward good neighborliness and greater regional economic integration. Today, as chair of the High Council for National Reconciliation, my job is to help build consensus and manage our collective efforts to promote reconciliation, to justly, inclusively, and honorably end the conflict and seek political settlement. But to do so, we need to constantly remind ourselves that Afghanistan today, all distinguished speakers earlier also referred to it eloquently. Afghanistan today is not the country of 90s or early 2001. It's young, diverse, connected nation, eager to freely decide its own future form of government, corresponding to its unity in diversity. This transformed nation also wants to preserve its core accomplishments, including the rights and liberties of all men and women of all communities and groups in Afghanistan. We do not want a terrorist footprint in our country or to allow any entity to pose a threat to any other nation. The current talks offer the best hope to put the war behind us using patience. And Prime Minister, I'm accused by my colleagues, and some of my colleagues have severed their path and stopped being my partner by accusing me to be very patient.
That's an environment.
Using patience, dialogue, and compromise to agree to unite the country. We appreciate the tremendous efforts by all partners of Afghanistan, contributions and sacrifices made in the past 19 years, helping our people achieve their aspirations. But the biggest missing, the missing part is peace, dignified, durable, sustainable peace. A country with a vision of living at peace, unified, peace within and without, friendship within and without, not harboring any terrorist groups which may pose any threat to any country in our neighborhood, a sovereign country, independent country, democratic country, which people with diverse ideas, while maintaining their ideas and compete for and contest for implementation of their ideas, but only peacefully and without using violence. That's the future. Yes, the road ahead of us is not easy. responsibility on my shoulders in my current position as the chairman of the High Council for National Reconciliation. I cannot and we cannot achieve our aspirations without the support from our own people, and also without cooperation in a sincere manner in our region, and also the further strengthening of our bilateral relations. I'm sure that will further help us in achieving the aspirations of the people, which have been faced with tremendous challenges in the past more than 4 decades. In my own case, 35 years of my life, plus 1.5 or less than 1.5 years, which I was here as a refugee in Peshawar, as a medical doctor, just graduated from the Faculty of Medicine, practiced a little bit, and then leaving Afghanistan, and then returned back and joining the resistance as a medical doctor. I've been in the middle of this. When I said in the inauguration of the negotiations between the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan and the Taliban movement, and Ambassador Sadiq Khan referred to it in his statement, that there are no winners in war and there are no losers in peaceful, inclusive settlement. And we can all be, and I called on Taliban we were in the same room, and I mentioned the name of the leader of the Taliban negotiating team, Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar Ahund, that we can all be heroes for our country. And also the cost of not seizing the moment, not capitalizing on the moment which is there, that now the international community is supportive, the region is supportive. And in that inauguration ceremony, that half-a-day ceremony, I listened to the distinguished ministers of foreign affairs from different countries, region and beyond, from the Secretary General of the United Nations, the Secretary General of the OIC, the Secretary General of NATO. Everybody was emphasizing on seizing the moment, asking the Afghans to seize the moment, and asking the others to cooperate, and showing readiness to cooperate in that regard. Indeed, it was a historic event. In these days, history will be shaped. It was a good start. We have asked our own delegation, President Ghani and myself, to be patient, to be ready to make compromise, and not to miss any other opportunity, not to lose opportunity, not to waste time, because the conditions may evolve that might haunt us again, and we shouldn't let it happen. That's the instruction to our negotiating team, and that's how they conduct their business there, which is in the interest of all of us. Dear friends and colleagues, both Pakistan and Afghanistan need better prospects. We have paid a high price by facing various terror groups that are still acting as spoilers. We need to cooperate with like-minded countries against such elements. Foreign Minister Qureshi, yourself referred to certain calendars and events which have taken place, and I will refer to Prime Minister's Imran Khan telephone conversation with President Ghani last Friday. I met him on Saturday. He was happy in sending his regards to the nation as well as to the leaders in Pakistan. His call for pursuit of the talks in negotiations in good faith, and also reduction in violence, significant reduction in violence leading to comprehensive ceasefire. It's important because that's the environment that will help the spirit of negotiations back there in Doha. And not only I thank all of you for for inviting me, for providing the opportunity, for your warm welcome and hospitality, and also for the content of discussions, which was mainly around peace, but also it covered areas of bilateral relations. I want to thank the National Assembly of Pakistan. I had extensive discussions last evening. You were there, and honorable ministers were there, and members of National Assembly were there. We had extensive discussions with honorable Chairman of the National Assembly, Honorable Asad Qaisar. When I saw the interest as a representative of the people and chairman of that assembly, National Assembly, Speaker of the Assembly, and his keenness and the topics that he in the National Assembly had focused on in the recent weeks, that shows another level of interest in pursuit of our common interest. The visa regulations, which is visa friendly, the pedestrian crossing points facilitation, in spite of the COVID, in spite of all the other challenges which are there, facilitation for trade. In all of this, we are grateful for the steps that you have taken. We also listen to yourself. We were going to listen to the leaders later on today and tomorrow. Also there are areas that we have to make joint efforts. There are areas that we need to focus in order to enhance bilateral relations on the basis of mutual respect in cooperation. I want to thank Pakistan also for hosting millions of our refugees. And we share the idea of dignified, voluntary return of refugees. And we are making efforts back home to further facilitate in this area. And in conclusion, I will reiterate that peace is not only an Islamic tenet in duty. It's also that unique historical opportunity that should not be squandered. Now that the ice has broken, we all have a role and responsibility to help it move forward, fruition, and prevent a relapse. May Allah Almighty guide us all in the right path. Thank you. Tashakkur. Shukriya. Manan. Thanks.
बराह रास्त इस्लामाबाद से आपको दिखा रहे थे अफगान मुफाहमती कौंसिल के चेयरमैन अब्दुल्ला इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ स्ट्रेटेजिक स्टडीज़ के ज़ेर-ए-तमाम तकरीब से खिताब कर रहे थे। उनका कहना था, भरपूर मेहमान नवाजी और इस्तकबाल पर पाकिस्तान का शुक्रगुजार हूँ। पाकिस्तान और अफगानिस्तान की खुशहाली एक दूसरे से मुंसलिक है। दोहा मुज़ाकरात से अफगानिस्तान में तशद्दुद के वाक़यात पर तवज्जो मरकूज़ है। अफगान अमल में पाकिस्तान का अहम किरदार है। हमें अपने अवाम की अमन की ख्वाहिश के लिए आगे बढ़ना है। पाकिस्तान और अफगानिस्तान के दरमियान बरादराना ताल्लुकात हैं। शाह महमूद कुरैशी से अमन मुज़ाकरात से मुतालिक गुफ्तगू हुई। फिलहाल के लिए इतना ही। मज़ीद अपडेट्स के लिए देखते रहे JNN न्यूज़।
अगर तुम्हारी शिकायत करते हुए कोई अल्लाह के सामने रो पड़ा तो तुम्हारा क्या हाल होगा? क्या कभी सोचा है